their supernatural experience, similar to what Scrooge did, and it reveal what was in their future for their son.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's kind of, people used to ask, what's this movie? And I would say it's a cross between It's a Wonderful Life and Saw. So it's this creepy guy who's sharing them, kind of what their life is going to be like.
But he didn't really exist.
Exactly. Well, he was their future son.
Right.
One of my favorite parts of the movie, I don't know if you guys get, just for me, is how the husband and the wife had a choice to go out the door.
Yes.
And I think in marriage, my parents have been married for 40 years, and what just really softens my heart is I think every marriage has moments where you can go out that door. Where the torture that's kind of behind you, whether it's difficulties in a marriage or whatever, being self-sacrificing, it's like, you know what, I'm just getting out of here. But when you stay, and of course 2 people have to stay, the benefits are, I think, for me at least, 40 years of mom and dad, being a good mom and dad.
It was interesting. It disappeared in my life.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
You need to put Back to the Future in there too. It's a Wonderful Life,
Back to
Saw,
the
and Back to the Future.
Exactly.
They go back and do it right.
And a Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Yeah.
For your parents.
What's that?
I have a question for your parents.
Yeah.
Did you see the creepiness in him when he was growing up?
She just.
He's always been a little out there. He always had the creativity in the family, and we never really understood it. We learned to appreciate it, and we love it.
I love it.
Yes. Okay.
Who is that? Sweet. I'll take that. I will go to the bank with that. Bert McCracken. I look a lot like him.
Yes.
I enjoyed it, by the way, very, very much. I did say that earlier. Do you all want to direct and write more movies that you're in? I would think that would be very hard to be in a movie that you've written, although then you're playing the part that only you know how the part goes. But I don't know.
Yeah, we had that conversation before we shot it, and after we were done, we were like, man, we should have been in this movie. That's a lot of work.
It's hard. I think in the end we were like, okay, I'm an actor, you're an actor, we know we'll show up. So the hardest thing is to admit and show up. So we're like, we know we'll do whatever it takes. We just got to find a really good actress to play the wife. But definitely, if I was going to do it again, I wouldn't be in it. Because the days that I didn't have to act, I had a lot of fun. And the days I acted, I didn't. So it's pretty stressful. Yes, yes.
I was just going to ask you to talk a little bit about directing yourself. Maybe talk a little bit more now about directing yourself and why that's, apparently you're at the conclusion that wouldn't be a good idea if you were going to do it again. I know a lot of people who think that they're going to direct themselves.
Well, I made a lot of short
and
films.
then nobody makes movies with them.
Yeah, I mean, I made a lot of short films, and again, the hardest part in the very beginning is just getting people to commit, to your film. And so I always put myself in because I knew I was going to be there. I think it really helped me as a director now because I've learned the acting side of filmmaking to be able to communicate with actors a little better. But I think it's, it's a challenge. I don't think it's, again, I wouldn't do it again under this kind of circumstance. I love acting. I love directing. I want to be a director, So I would probably tell people, it's probably best if you don't look for. In the end, what you want is the best actors for the parts. And I can almost tell you right now, there is another actor out there who could have played this part better than me. Just because all he would have to concentrate on is just the acting and not all the other elements. But again, I'm glad I did it from the perspective of I learned a lot that will help me in my future projects. So, Mina,
I just gotta say bravo. I just
Oh,
loved
thank
it. All right, you were wonderful. And you guys, I want to know what inspired you to make this movie. I mean, I was just telling everybody, I said, you know what? This movie has to be like for everybody that want to get married before they want to get married. Free counseling has to be done. It has to work, something like that. But what inspired you? Because I don't think you've been married before.
No, yeah.
But what happened? What made you just slept over and just said, okay, this is what I want to be?
Again, people ask that because my parents are happily married, and they're like, where did that come from? But for me, it's just, I've seen relatives and friends and people who have gone through divorce and seen the consequences, their kids who have suffered because of that, or just a couple and the difficulties that they go through. And what's fascinating to me is, and I hope I captured it, was, when you fall in love with somebody, it's magical. And you get married, and all you care about is that person. And then something happens down the road that you drift apart, and it's like, can you find that again, that moment again? Can you fall in love again? I think people can. I've seen my parents do it a couple times over 40 years, Mad in love, hate each other, mad in love. So it's all about sticking with it. So I wanted to make a movie that would inspire people. I told Aaron, I said, dude, if one person sees our film and goes home and just thinks, maybe I need to make a deeper commitment to my wife, or my husband, or my family. Man, I'm happy. That makes me happy. So I don't know if you want to say anything. Man. Okay, we got about 2 more minutes. Can we get could they have it? And then I'll come back, okay? Yes, who hasn't? Stacy.
You guys have won a lot of awards for this movie. Have you guys been traveling the whole gamut?
It's been great. We've gone to a lot of festivals. We've won about half of them. It's great when I go and I hear people's stories or their experiences, how they experienced the movie. Some people, like I had this one young man who saw it. He wasn't married. No, he's married. But he said, I'm not abusive to my wife or anything like that. But he said, sometimes I recognize when I talk to her, just how that affects her. The scene where the whipping things are going on, he realized that for the words that I say to my wife, they are causing it's like hitting her in a sense. And so I love when people, share stories like that with me. But yeah, it's been a great run. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yeah, no, it's been really fun to go and meet people and see the reactions, and it's been interesting because this is definitely in the horror genre film, and we've won at film festivals that were definitely not even remotely horror genre film festivals, which felt pretty good that maybe they were well received, and it was in the business plan, things we tried to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, in the back there.
Yeah, how long have you guys known each other?
I think it's 2000, 99.
99.
You got married. Yeah.
99. I have a picture of you as the. I have a picture. Actually, it's kind of one of those weird things. I had a picture of me on a movie set. The first, actually, how I got into acting was I was driving down the road, and I'd started acting class, but I wasn't auditioning or doing anything. And finally, I got to this one place on 87th, getting off of 35 on 87th, and I was like, you know what? If I don't start auditioning, get some headshots, and go, this is never going to happen. Next day, I'm driving, same spot. I get a call, and this guy goes, hey, this is Jim Lewis, and I got your name, and I'm shooting a movie. Would you like to be in it? And I was like, yeah. Anyway, that movie, Ty was the first AD on, and there was a picture of me in that movie, and there's Ty sitting in the background. So it's kind of wild like that. So we've been doing it for about a decade, something like that.
Okay, guys. We are going to have DVDs outside. If you're interested, the DVDs are really cool. They have kind of a behind-the-scenes making of the movie, kind of a little testimonial from me about why I made this movie and a whole bunch of other things. So if you're interested, please purchase it. It is for sale everywhere else, but this is a special edition that you can't get anywhere except tonight. So if you'd like to buy a copy and share it with your, possibly married friends who are on the verge of divorce, and you're like, watch this and you won't get divorced. Thank you all for,
Or you won't have children that come back.
It was 291 and 50 Highway, the old Calmar building. So, but thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it.